smash the like button. Imagine leaving for All Elite Wrestling and then leaving that company to go back to old company, and then 2 years later you leave your old company once again. Wild stuff.
Wow, this is shocking news. I can't believe that Andrade is gone from the World Wrestling Federation. This is insane in the membrane. I don't get it. I thought his booking was solid. Now, was this a release based on his talent, or did Andrade ask for this release? I think possibly he asked for this release, because there's no way that Paul Levesque would release Andrade just because he feels like he has no potential or upside in the World Wrestling Federation. I believe this call was on Andrade, but he might go down as the first one to, I wouldn't say fail, the first guy who came from All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, who used to be in the World Wrestling Federation, to go back to the World Wrestling Federation from All Elite Wrestling. He might be the first one to have a below average run and then ultimately leave the company. So would you call his comeback a fail? Man, that's a great question. Do you think that Andrade, his second run, was a failure? I don't think so, because he has no reason to leave. Like I said, I don't think Nick Khan or Paul Levesque would just cut Andrade based on they feel like he has no upside and he's not developing. No, Andrade, he was one of the most entertaining matches on the roster. Let's talk about him versus Melo Hayes. That was a great feud. The best out of 7 series. That was solid TV. So this has to be on Andrade. I mean, this man has been a great soldier in terms of he never dissed Charlotte Flair, which was very smart. This man was a great soldier. He knows that Charlotte has power, and that's why he never said not one bad word about Charlotte Flair. Like I said, look at what happened to Ludwig Kaiser. He buried Miss Flair on Twitter, and then months later, we never saw that man on TV for months. Now, the rumor is that El Grande Americano might be Ludwig Kaiser, but there's no proof and there's no evidence of that fact. This release is very shocking because you can do much more with Andrade. You can send that man back down to NXT. You can send that man to AAA. Bro, send that man to AAA. Right? So this has to be his call because there's a lot you can do with him. If Andrade has zero to do on SmackDown, all right, cool. Send that man to Raw. How about TNA? It's like, I don't get this release. I would say in year one of Andrade's comeback, he was booked very solid. He was the most underrated guy on SmackDown for a whole year. He was quietly putting on great matches. So, is it a World Wrestling Federation problem or is it an Andrade problem? Because, bruh, he just got here 2 years ago. He was just with All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Yes, that man had a bad run in that company. So it's like, man, it's like, take your pick. Which one is it? Who's the real problem? Paul Levesque or Tony Khan or Andrade? Who's the real problem? Is it the booking or is it the wrestler that has to get booked? Because if Andrade was not booked great under Paul Levesque, but you was booked worse under Tony Khan, is Andrade the problem? Because the only reason we know who this man is, it's because of NXT, the World Wrestling Federation, not All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Paul Levesque was the one who gave this man a second chance multiple times. What about NXT? There was a point in time where he was trying to quit NXT the first time, and then Paul Levesque talked him out of it and gave that man a monster push, and he gave him Miss Vega as his mouthpiece. So, multiple times, Paul Levesque has given this man multiple chances. Now, which run was better? His run on SmackDown or Dynamite? Of course, SmackDown. I'm shocked that Andrade would want to leave. Like I said, I don't think Paul Levesque released him. I don't think this is a budget cut. Hell no. There's no way this was a budget cut and Andrade was not living up to expectations. Hell no. He was putting on great matches. He was a solid good guy. Very, very solid. Andrade had potential because AAA is now with the World Wrestling Federation. You can send that man down to AAA. It's going to be very interesting. Where will this man go? Back to Mexico? That makes no sense because just go to AAA. Where are his options? What if he goes to CMLL? Okay, why would he go there? They have ties to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. Where are you going to go? TNA? That's weird. Why would you go to TNA knowing that they are partners with your old company? So why would you ask for a release to TNA if they work with the WWF? So where will this man go? It just makes no sense. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He was doing just fine on SmackDown. You people need to realize, not everybody is a main event guy. Holy crap. Damn, man. The main event scene is not for everybody. Andrade, look here, man. You ain't no main event guy. Your English ain't that great, which means you have to be a mid-card guy. So he was solid in that mid-card. There's limitations if you are not great at speaking English. That's my point. You have limitations, a ceiling. So where will this man go? You can't go to AAA. That's dumb. If he goes back to AEW, man, that will make him look hella bad. My God. Just imagine if MJF feuds with Andrade. Come on, man. That's like a layup on fucking promos. That's a layup. It's like, hold on, you failed here, then you failed in your old company, and now you're back here. There's so much material if he goes back to All Elite Wrestling. Here's the crazy part. The crowd, they did cheer Andrade. He was over. I'm not saying he was mega over, but he was somewhat over to a point where the audience did respect his talent. What does he want? What type of push is he asking for? That's my question. Because look here, man, you ain't dirty ass Dom Guerrero. Okay, stop it. You are not at that level. Hell, he might not be at the level of Mike Santana. Right now, as we speak, like I said, people respect Andrade, but not to a point where he's like mega over and we want to see this man as a world heavyweight champion. So, this is shocking because usually when a guy comes from All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling and then he signs with the World Wrestling Federation, he is given a solid, good run. He's the first guy to return to get released. That's insane. That doesn't look good. But we need more details. Why did this man get released? I think this was his call. Maybe he didn't like his spot on the roster, but it's like, bro, every company needs a solid mid-card. Andrade, bro, you ain't no main event dude. You ain't that guy. You have a great look, but you need to talk people in the building. At least Melo Hayes can somewhat talk you into the building. You can't. So you are more so, I don't know, fucking S.A. Rios. That's what he is. You are S.A. Rios. You are Juventud Guerrero. That's what you are. You are, I don't know, fucking La Parca. It's like you are used to put on good matches, good solid ass matches in that mid card, but that's about it. We don't expect you to win the Money in the Bank. We don't expect you to win the World Rumble. Everybody has their spot and their niche on the roster. That's Andrade. You are a solid ass mid-card guy. Know your place, Andrade. Know your place. You are a solid ass mid-card guy. You will never be an upper tier mid-card guy. You ain't dirty ass Dominic Guerrero. Oh yeah, by the way, there's no proof or evidence that Ludwig Kaiser is El Grande Americano. That's all speculation. The only reason why I name dropped Ludwig Kaiser in this video was for references to Miss Flair. That's about it. It's all rumors and speculation. And guess what? If you don't believe me, all right, cool. Let's run that fade, dog. I don't duck no fades. Imagine being scared to run that fade in 2025, man. That's embarrassing. And I'm done.